It is now October, which means that it is time for a new anime season to start, and that means that there are a bunch of new shows you can go check out. And I can make a video recommending that you go watch ReZero Season 3, Dawn to Dawn, or whatever, Love Live, because I'm a big Love Live fan. I can go recommend you watch all of those. But what's the point? Because you can go watch tons of videos telling you to watch those anime, and while they might be great, I don't think you're gonna get any kind of new information out of me that you wouldn't already have. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to give you 3 anime that you might not know is airing this season that you might be interested in, and I do recommend checking out from the first few episodes that have aired. So anyway, let's get right on into them and start talking about them. The first one of these is 365 Days to Wedding. This is a series that I am a big fan of because of the manga. This is a series that I've been following for a little bit. While I'm a little bit behind on the manga, but I am very happy with how this series has gone. And I do think it will be very well done because the anime episode 1 was very good. It follows a coworker pair that they are not really the best employees. They're more quiet. They aren't really that outgoing. And whenever it comes to their attention that one of the employees from their work is going to be relocated to Alaska and they are not selecting anybody that is married, they decide to avoid both of them having to be moved or one of them being moved to Alaska. They decide they're going to fake a marriage until this Alaska thing is over. And what happens is we get this very kind of unique way of a romance, and I really like how it goes. Is it super unique? Maybe not, but it's something that I think you'll have a lot of fun with. I think it's worth watching. I do think the animation quality is pretty good already. I do think the way that the characters have been handled so far, I think is really, really interesting. And I think, I don't know how far it'll go. Some of these anime like this, whenever it makes sense that it would not, cover, it's not going to get multiple seasons probably. It, usually will kind of space things out and just kind of jump between things. Or maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just kind of go along with how it should be. But anyway, I think it will be very good. Like I said, season or episode 1 of that is already out. If you want to go check that out, it is on Crunchyroll. Once again, that is called 365 Days to Wedding. So highly recommend that if you're interested and it sounds interesting to you. The next one here is a bit of an interesting one because it is not going to end this season. It is tying the night with the Amagami sister. This is a really fun series that I am not even that invested in yet. I didn't know it was going to exist, and really the only reason that I know it exists is because at Anime NYC this year, the Anime NYC Plus badge had them on the badge, which was pretty cool. Since then, I have looked into the series a little bit. It follows 3 girls that are at this shrine thing, and pretty much I haven't really watched the first episode yet, I'm gonna be honest. But I've watched the trailer for it. I have read the first little bit of the manga because I got the first one, and it's pretty good. I've seen people talking about it. It's pretty good. I am very excited to check this one out, and I highly recommend it because I think, like, I recommend it because series like this, which I kind of refer to as like the couple of cuckoos type anime, to where they're not really going to be remembered in 2 or 3 years. Really, Nisiko, or Koi, which was a big anime at the time, and it still is a popular one, but I think that falls into this category to where it will get 1 to 2 seasons, maybe 2 cores. In this case, it's going to be 24 episodes instead of just 12. I think these series are just constantly coming out, and they are consistently good. They're not great. Sometimes we get some really good, you know, unexpectedly good ones, like 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really, Really Love You. I think that would fall into this category, and I think this one is similar. And I think it's worth checking out. The animation looks really good from what I have seen so far, so it is one that I am very excited to check out. Well, like I said, I haven't watched this one yet. The other two I have watched, so this one I have not. But everything I've seen from it, everything I've heard from it is pretty much it's a really solid anime, and I think you'll enjoy it. If you like the sort of rent a girlfriend quintuplets, sort of not really ecchi, but kind of ecchi, you'll like this series. So, worth checking out if you're interested. Now, the series that I am most excited to tell you about is a series that you probably will hear about and think that is awful. That's what gives anime a bad rep. But I am happy to tell you it is not that. You are going to love this series. It is one of the most overlooked series of this season, 100%. So this series is called Sumiso. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Otherwise known as If My Wife Becomes an Elementary School Student. This is a really interesting series, in my opinion. And yes, obviously, you're going to assume, based on that title, that it is nothing more than a trying to pander towards that audience that wants the lolicon type relationship thing. And no, it is not. What this series is it follows a husband and a wife and their daughter who, are a good family. And what happens is the wife is killed in an accident, and for 10 years, the family is really having a hard time adjusting to losing this vital member of their family. And suddenly one day, this little 10-year-old girl shows up at their house and says, I'm your wife. I have suddenly gotten my memory back, and I wanted to come check in on you. And yes, this could simply turn into a slice of life series about she is now 10 years old. But it is much more than that. From everything I've seen from the first two episodes, I can already tell it's going to be much better, and I have a lot of faith this is going to be a very, very good series. To just put into perspective on how much faith I have in this, I tried to, the series that I think will be the best of the year, I always will buy the Japanese Blu-ray of them. I did with Days with My Stepsister. I didn't end up doing it for Too Many Losing Heroines because I think it will probably get a very nice English release, but I would have. I bought the Japanese release of this anime. I think it is going to be that good. This anime really deals with like loss and kind of adjusting to that. Not only that, but it deals with some other really tough topics that I think really anime talks about sometimes, but it doesn't really go full in with it. And this one probably won't go in full in depth with it, but I think it could go in a little bit and give us an interesting idea on how these type of subjects should be talked about, but maybe not be that hard hitting and so deep in this series to where it's easy to digest without being such hard and hard to handle that other anime that might tackle it a bit better than this, but it's harder to watch. This is probably easier to digest, like I said, but still tackling those subjects. Now, real quick before I go, I do want to address a few other anime that I think are worth watching that maybe you already have heard about or maybe you haven't, but I think are worth watching. The first of which is obviously Love Live. I talked about Love Live Superstar. If you haven't watched Love Live, I do recommend checking it out. I do think there are problems with the franchise as a whole whenever it comes to their anime, but I think it is pretty good, and I do think it's the best idol series that we have. This is season 3. It's the final season. Hope I probably the main girls are in their final year of the school, so I believe it will probably be the final season. All 3 seasons are on Crunchyroll, so if you want to go check that out, you can. but I do recommend it. And if you aren't interested in that idol anime, well, there's another idol anime that you can go watch. Idolmaster Shiny Colors Season 2 is airing this season as well. Season 1 aired back in the spring, so you can go check out both of those. I do recommend that because I haven't finished Season 1, but what I have watched has been pretty good. I also bought the Japanese Blu-ray of that. Obviously, it'd be foolish of me not to mention some of the big name ones. Dawn to Dawn, I have not started. I didn't actually intend to watch it, but a lot of people have said it's very, very good. So I'll probably end up checking that out. Maybe wait a little bit, then get back into it because I still need to finish Oshinoko and a few others from last season, as well as ReZero Season 3. I'm going to be honest, I just have never really been able to connect with ReZero the way that other people have. I know a lot of people think it is great, and that is great that they do. Personally, it's just not a series for me. I do have flaws with it. I'm not going to address here because this is a episode to tell you what to watch and to inspire you to watch more anime this season. So I'm not going to dog on an anime that is airing, because if you can watch that and get enjoyment out of it and it makes you watch more anime, then that is great, and that is all that I care about. But there are tons more that are airing that I just don't know anything about. A series that I think is called Blue Box. I don't know anything about that, but I have heard people talk about it, and I believe it's on Netflix. Also, there's Ranma Half, which is a remake of an older anime, which is having a big controversy on whether or not the main character, whenever they had a censorship moment that in the original was fully exposed top, now has censored, and they just took off the bits on her chest, which is odd, and I might make a video on that. But anyway, it's there, and that is airing on Netflix as well. Obviously, if you want probably a recommendation that I don't recommend, but you might want to watch it just for the train wreck that we know it's going to be, Uzumaki is a series that is getting a ton of press because of how bad episode 2 was. It's a series that is based off a manga, and episode 1 was pretty good. I heard a few people talking about it, and then episode 2 came out, and the animation is awful. And from what I've heard, episode 2 and 3 are going to be awful, and 1 and 4 are going to be pretty decent. So if you want to watch that train wreck, maybe go check it out. Really interesting story there. Maybe not the story as in the manga, I don't know anything about that, but really interesting story on how this anime really came to be and how it became this mess. So maybe when that's over, we'll make a video on it, but check that out if you just want to watch a train wreck. And of course, there are anime that I just don't know about that are airing. There's going to be ones that are surprise hits. There always is. There's those anime that no one really talks about. Somebody finds them and they're like, hey, this is really good. They tell their friends, they tell their friends, and then so on and so forth until everybody's watching this anime. Will that happen this season? Maybe, maybe not. But there's always the possibility. So anyway, that is about it. Like I said, those 3 that I mentioned at the start is the 3 that I would recommend the most. But obviously, if you are interested in ReZero, Love Live, anything like that, or any that I didn't mention here, this is not me telling you not to watch them. They are just as good. But those are the 3 that I would recommend the most, especially that if my wife became a elementary school student. Sounds awful, but I promise you it is very, very good in those first few episodes. Worth watching. And then, maybe check it out. If it's not your cup of tea, move on. But for me, it was really, really good. And I think it's one of those that really might be an underrated classic. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. I hope you might have learned from discovered a new anime that you might not have known about. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.